Welcome to the Full of Tracy Money Audio Commentary. This is Owen Tracy recording. It is 3:23 p.m. That is Central Time, and today is August 20th. Well, I thought I would kick off today. Look at Turkey. The index is up 172 points, right in the region of the upper side of its range. And Turkey is also a potential beneficiary of peace in Ukraine. What we also started to see today was the beginning of a plan. This primarily proposed by the Italian government that about how a mutual defense pact would evolve if Ukraine were not part of NATO and yet going to be supported in the future by NATO in case that it was invaded again. That's going to be a significant part of negotiations as we go increasingly towards the potential for uh, a peace agreement. And of course, the rebound in Eastern Europe continues as the enthusiasm around a significant infrastructure boom starts to take shape. This has been the major promise from what looked like an intractable conflict ending over the last several years, because most of the same countries that have been providing military support have also been very clear in stating that they would provide civilian support in the aftermath of the war. Now, we've also seen quite a bit of movement in the currency markets, and the dollar was weaker today, but so were the Australian dollar, the New Zealand dollar, and the Indian rupee is steadying up a little bit in here. And then, of course, with a bit weaker dollar environment on a broad basis, particularly versus the euro, then gold was in positive territory. And we are certainly starting to see that gold miners are now beginning to act in a more high beta manner. I think that's certainly quite clear in the performance of GDX, for example. What was also rather interesting today is that in the aftermath of weakness in the tech sector yesterday, we had an additional decline today in the tech sector, most particularly in the companies that are heavily levered to artificial intelligence. But most of them rebounded by the time we got to the close in here today. And Palantir, for example, was a good example of that because it had pulled back for consecutive days and then was looking quite oversold in the very short term by the time it reached its nadir today. And now that